edition. For tonight's headlines, we have the head of state receives the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The head of state receives the Italian Minister of Defense. For the international scene, a shooting in Colorado supermarket kills 10 people in US. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, received the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, who was heading a strong delegation. The Saudi Foreign Minister was carrying a message from the authorities of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Saudi minister then took advantage of his audience with the President to report on the bilateral cooperation between the two brotherly countries to increase the level of exchanges and collaboration in order to face the challenges and preserve the common interests of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Djibouti, which are strategic partners in the region. The Saudi foreign minister was heading a high-level delegation composed of Dr. Sami Al-Saleh, Deputy Minister of State for Arab African countries, Abdulaziz Al-Matar, Saudi Arabian Ambassador to Djibouti, Abdulrahman Al-Dawood, Director General of His Highness the Minister's Office, Abdul Salam Al-Anzi, responsible for Djibouti file, Fahad Munawar, His Highness the Minister's Chief of Staff, Djibouti's Foreign Minister Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Djibouti's Ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Diaydin Said Bamakrama. The Saudi Foreign Minister said in his speech, I had the honor to convey the greetings of the leaders of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Djibouti, Ismail Omar Guelleh. The two countries are strategic partners and share cooperation ties in different sectors. This meeting was an opportunity to discuss ways and means to increase the level of exchanges and collaboration and enhance the partnership that exists between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Djibouti. For his part, the Djiboutian head of diplomacy, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, said, I welcome His Highness Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, who is making a historic visit that reflects the excellent relations between Djibouti and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which are strategic allies in the region. As you know, Djibouti and Saudi Arabia are strategically located and therefore play a leading role in the stability and peace in the region, and particularly in Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The two countries share many common points. They are members of the Council of Countries bordering the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, and share the same views on several issues, including peace, stability, in order to serve the common interest of both countries. The head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, received today at the end of the morning the Italian Minister of Defense, Lorenzo Guerini, at the head of a high-ranking delegation from his country. This meeting allowed the President of the Republic and the Minister of Defense to review the excellent bilateral relations existing between the two countries in the political, economic, social, and military files. On the menu of these discussions, Djibouti-Italian bilateral relations in various files in the name of a synergistic approach. It was also a question of new partnership between the two countries. During this meeting, the two parties also reviewed the regional political situation, which emphasized on the security situation in the Horn of Africa. The meeting was attended by the head of the diplomacy, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Defense and Relations with Parliament, Hassan Umar Mohammed. For his part, the Italian Minister of Defense, Lorenzo Guerini, said that has indicated this is started to review the excellent bilateral relations existing between the two countries in the political, economic, social, and military files. The Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, held a meeting with the Scientific Committee on Health this morning on 23 March 2021. The Minister of Health, Muhammad Warsama Diriye, reported on the progress of activities at the national level. The meeting was attended by Budget Minister Abdul Karim Adenshare and several senior members of the committee. For his part, Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed emphasized and recommended that the committee redouble its efforts to ensure that our fellow citizens face up to the COVID-19 pandemic. After the official launch of the national vaccination campaign against COVID-19, initiated on 15 March 2021 by the President of the Republic, Head of Government Ismail Omar Guelleh, and the First Lady Khadra Mahmoud Haid, the Minister of Health proceeded to an inspection and monitoring visit of the vaccination activities planned with the framework of the first phase of the campaign, which is currently underway in the different health structure. Vaccination units have been deployed to sequentially cover all the structures in the territories. Indeed, medical staff are at priority target because they are exposed to the risk of COVID-19 and moreover likely to transmit the infection to the patients in their care, some of whom are at high risk of serious illness, complications, or death. At the same time, the vaccine sites offer the vaccination service for people aged 55 year old and over with and without comorbidity. The President of the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Ahmed, received this morning the courtesy visit of the new ambassador of Spain in Djibouti, Mr. Manuel Salazar. The Spanish ambassador represented his credential to the President of the Republic yesterday. During the meeting, the President of the Assembly welcomed the Spanish ambassadors and promised him the support of the parliamentary institutions. The Somali-speaking PEN, in collaboration with the Ministry of Muslim Affairs, Cultures and Waqf Property, organized at the Salam Center is an exhibition of new books entitled The Studies of Somali Culture and Literature, Djibouti and Yemen. The Minister of Muslim Affairs, Mumin Hassan Barre, attended the ceremony and saw the presence of the President of Somali PEN, Haji Ismail Hussein Tani, the writers of the book, and President of the Academy, Dr. Muhammad Daher Afrah, intellectuals of University of Djibouti, intellectuals known in the field of culture, poets, journalists, students, and civil society. The President of Somali PEN, Haji Ismail Hussein Tani, took the floor and congratulated the writers, Dr. Muhammad Daher Afrah, on the publications of the new book and the historical efforts of the writer in the field of language and culture promotion. At the opening of the ceremony, the Minister of Muslim Affairs Culture, Mumin Hassan Barre, expressed that he had read the book and enjoyed several things contained in the book. On the one hand, the minister congratulated the writer and said that Dr. Afrah is a hero who sacrifices his life for the knowledge of his own people. The People Palace has hosted a virtual seminar on notification requirements, market access for goods for the member of the sectoral technical committee in charge of monitoring trade policy. This virtual training seminar was attended by the Minister of Trade, Hassan Hamad Arbahim, his staff, and various anonymous participants. This training aims at improving the knowledge of sectoral stakeholders on market access notifications, the TRIPS agreement, the WTO, the integrated database in order to meet the notification commitment of the World Trade Organization agreement and to enhance transparency on trade rules and practices. The Minister of Commerce Hassan Hamad Arbahim said for his part has indicated in his speech that the economy of Djibouti has advocated a policy of inclusion in international trade through the liberal policy under the leadership of President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. The president of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Farah Abdullahi Wali, accompanied by members of his teams, went yesterday to Tujura to see for himself the progress of the withdrawal of voter cards. The head of the CENI and his staff were first received by the prefect of the region, Hassan Dabele, in the presence of the member of the local CENI. The delegation discussed with the prefect the conditions for the withdrawal of voter cards. The chairman of CENI and his team also discussed with their colleagues from the regional commission their essential role in ensuring the transparency of the election. At the end of the discussions, the CENI chairman and his team inspected the various distribution counters of the electoral cards. They checked electronic registrations, the list of voters by polling stations, as well as the rate of withdrawal of voters' cards by the inhabitant of the chief town. For his part, the prefect of Tujura, Mr. Hassan Dabale, has indicated the main mission of CENI that has the tasks of impartially supervising and monitoring the electoral process before, during, and after the presidential election is scheduled for April 2021. The conference room of a High Islamic Council hosted this morning a consultation meeting for ulama and ways and means to consolidate the Dawat al-Islam and to support the effort of stability and development of the country. The meeting was organized by the League of Ulama of Djibouti and the Association of Imam of Mosque in close cooperation with the High Islamic Council is affiliated to the Minister of Muslim Affairs Culture. The opening ceremony of this meeting was attended by the Director of Islamic Affairs, Mr. Ismail Hassan Roble, the new Director of the Interior Regions Bureau, Mr. Ibrahim Ismail, as well as the Executive Secretary of the High Islamic Council, Sheikh Okiye Qaurah Fatah. The meeting was also attended by the President of the Islamic League of Ulama of Djibouti, Sheikh Abdurrahman Muhammad Al-Ibrahim. The discussion is focused on ways to consolidate the Dawat and the strengthening security and stability in the countries to establish the principles of the moderation. The Executive Secretary of High Council, Sheikh Okiye Qaurah Fatah, recalled in his speech that this meeting is part of the permanent ulama and imams consultation to discuss ways to consolidate the Dawat al-Islami, but also to advance the responsibility entrusted to them in guiding the society. As part of the first edition of the Reading Festival, meeting between Djibouti writers and other students have begun in school across the country. It should be noted that the Reading Festival is a school event co-sponsored by the First Lady of the Republic of Djibouti, which seeks to cultivate a taste for reading and reinforce learning through the implementation of rich and diversified activities that arouse the interest of the students and encourage them to read. The dozen Djiboutian writers and authors are associated with this event, whose activities are rich and varied, with the many of gifts to host schools of literacy and works of identified writers, animations in the center of documentation and information by lovers of reading, the library and teachers of each school reading and writing workshop led by writers. The reading of the stories as well as testimonies and moments of sharing where children will have the opportunity to talk about their readings, writing, to encourage the sharing of initiative by schools. As part of the celebration of the International Week dedicated to the Francophonie, the CDC of Obok, in collaboration with the French Institute of Djibouti, organized this afternoon several educational and cultural activity event. The event was attended by the French ambassador to Djibouti, Arnaud Guillois, the prefect of the Obok region, Mr. Abdelmalik Mohamed Benoita, the Secretary General of the Secretary of State, Mr. Khadija Ibrahim Idris, the President of the Regional Council, Mohammed Hamad Ismail, as well as several other personalities from the Secretary of State and the region, welcomed with great pomp by the inhabitant of Obok. Mr. Arnaud Guillois proceeded to visit the premises of the CDC, noting in passing the work carried out before attending a skit performed by the pupils of the primary school. The French ambassador to Djibouti underlined the importance of the French languages in bringing people together, as it is a language of intellectual reflection and work, emphasizing the interest that represent in this perspective cultural exchanges between the Republic of Djibouti and France. The French ambassador to Djibouti underlined the importance of the French languages in bringing people together, is insofar as it is a languages of intellectual reflection and work, emphasizing the interest that represent in these perspectives cultural exchanges between the Republic of Djibouti and France. As every year since 2008, the entrance examinations for the Joint Military Academy took place from Saturday 20 to Monday 22 March 2021 in Arta. This year, the competition is intended to recruit future officers who will form the 30th classes. The first day of the competitions was reserved for the sports tests, the second day for the written tests, and the third day for the oral test. The majority of the candidates for the competition are young civilians with a bachelor degrees. This competition is also open to military candidates from the Djiboutian Army, Gendarmerie, the Republican Guard, and the Coast Guard. This competition allows the defense and security forces to recruit young Djiboutians who are motivated and want to serve their country. The selected candidates will join the military academy to follow a 3-year technical and tactical military trainings. At the end of this training, the future officers are assigned to the different corps of formations and services of the defense and security forces. For the international scene, USA supermarket shooting in Colorado leave 10 dead. The people, including police officers, were killed in a shooting at a supermarket in the U.S. city of Boulder, Colorado. The attack prompted the arrivals of dozens of the law enforcement personalities, including heavily armed response units and armored vehicles, about half an hour after the first shots were fired. Police have arrested a suspect but did not release his name and any details of the shootings at a press conference with the Boulder police chief. It is the 7th mass shooting this year in the United States, following the March 16 shooting that they killed 8 people at 3 Atlanta areas massage parlors, according to the database compiled by the Associated Press, USA Today, and Northeastern University. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.